episode of Her Club True Stories. And today we have with us Dr. Khushbu Thakkar. Dr. Khushbu is a homeopath. She is a founder of Meraki Wellbeing, a trichologist and an integrative health expert. She specializes in toddler health as well as hormonal imbalances issues of women all around. So welcome Dr. Khushbu to Her Club True Stories today and taking our time to talk to us.
Thank you so much. In fact, I love your work. It's very inspiring, and it. I think it's very generous that you're doing something to help others come forward. So that's really, really nice.
Thank you, doctor. So, before we get to know what you do at Meraki Wellbeing, we want to generally know you.
So I am now. I think I call myself a mom of two first.
Okay.
I'm a mom of two toddlers, and yes. Otherwise, I'm a doctor. I'm a homeopath. I am a trichologist. I am and an integrative health expert. So I've also done my clinical hypnotherapy. I specialize in nutrition with a super specialization in sports nutrition.
Okay.
So I am just somebody who wants. So it's always been. I think as a child, I've always wanted to change the way people perceive health. I want people to understand that health can be achieved in a very gentle way.
Okay.
If you start taking care of yourself at an early age, managing the way you eat, managing the way you think, handling your approach to life better in terms of exercise and everything, you can delay a lot of diseases. You can prevent a lot of diseases. You can cure a lot of diseases, whereas surgery or taking medications should be the last resort.
Okay.
So that is something I've always wanted to do as a child.
Okay. And that made you take up.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what took me to homeopathy, and then everything that I've done next, because I felt that today only somebody asked me to write about my journey, and I was just writing this before we spoke, and it came to me how as a child I got an injection and I was so upset about it. I'm like, Mom, there's got to be a way of treating people better without injecting them for simple fevers of 100.
Okay.
If I have 104, 100 and something, I understand if you give me an injection. But for 100, why would you take me to a doctor to give me an injection? You should try do better at home, Mom. You should give me home remedies or something which is more milder, Mama. Why not homeopathy?
Okay.
And I'm like, Mom, when I grew up, I'm going to be a doctor, who does, who changes the way people perceive health. So, it's that little girl who's probably, gone up and done her homeopathy and done nutrition and done, clinical hypnotherapy, because I want to see that change in the world.
Okay. But people are still not aware of, or to put it better, people are not totally into homeopathy or Ayurveda or getting cured at home. Rather, they prefer westernized medicine. So, what is, according to you, the gap that makes people run towards the westernized medicine so far, so much?
See, we've always been fast results.
Yeah.
And over time, we've become a generation where we've stopped caring for our health. So if you look at our grandfathers, grandmothers, great grandparents, they were healthy, fit, fine, ate everything, did all their work
Okay.
by themselves. And they were still like, even today, I have to compare myself to my own grandmother or my grandmother-in-law. I will say they are so fit.
Yes.
And today we are somebody, we've got all the luxuries, we've got the health, and still we are not as fit as them. Is because we've stopped being active, we've stopped taking care of ourselves, and we're so busy making money that we've stopped looking after ourselves. So okay, I'm getting a headache, I cannot stop myself from working, quick, let me pop up close and I need to get better.
Okay.
So people only start looking after their health when they get a health scare,
Yeah.
when they've had a pain in the heart, or suddenly, oh, I think you're pre-diabetic, or you've gained 20 kilos, or somebody in the in your close family member passed away because of a certain disease, is when you get that jhatka and you're, "Oh, I need to do something about it."
Correct.
So why not do something from the beginning? So while you are doing taking care of you, you can still make your money. You can still do things that are important to you, but your health becomes your first priority. So
Okay.
that with Corona, I think that gap is gotten a little better because now people realize immunity cannot be built with a pin.
Yeah.
You need to have built your immunity over time. You should have eaten correctly. You should have exercised to have a better immunity than others. So even if you get a corona, it's not as bad as it can be. So there are a lot of people who are actually fit, who've got the disease, are either asymptomatic or they've just recovered very quickly.
Yes.
And people who've not bothered or their immunity is compromised, they've had a lot of trouble with the disease.
Okay. Okay. So, Khushbu, please tell us about your venture, the Miraki Wellbeing.
So I was always working and I didn't know what to call my work. And I was just googling and researching terms in Sanskrit, and finally I came across this word Meraki in Greek, which was exactly what I felt. So I'm somebody, I give my 10,000% to what I do, otherwise I don't do it. I never do anything half-hearted. So Meraki uh, well-being was the thing that I want to provide to the world. And that's my message. And Meraki is where Meraki is a Greek word, which means that when you do something, you put your passion, you put a piece of you put your heart and soul into it. So for me, that was the two things coming together was Meraki well-being. So here, what I do is I work with people. I combine all aspects of my education, and I try to help people get better, to get fitter, to get stronger.
Okay.
So where we work on their diet, we work on their lifestyle, we work on you know exercises, if they need to be treated homeopathy, and the way they think, the way you approach life, because it all starts in the head.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as a fever, I don't know how many even notice, but one day before you get a fever, you feel that discomfort in the body, where you know that I just need to sleep for half an hour or an hour and I'll be okay. But what we do is we want to be, no, I'm strong. I'll just push it away and I
Yeah.
will work. Let's not be lazy, is what we tell ourselves. And the next day you get a fever. Then you realize, I wish I'd just slept for that half an hour yesterday, I wouldn't have got the fever. So, listening to your body, getting in touch with your inner self is what this is all about. Going back to your healthy self.
Okay. Okay. And what are the offerings at Miraki?
So I primarily work with, like you said, hormonal disorders in women, because as women, our hormones are so complex and they are so intricately associated with our emotions that at every stage in life, right from a woman who gives birth, so birthing, and then as the girl grows up, then you get your first cycle, then comes the drama of the PMS, and then PCOS, and then fertility issues, and then again, menopause. So it's the whole cycle that just goes on,
Yeah.
where we can work. If if a girl at a very young age is learns how to eat correctly, how to exercise, how to think correctly, you can manage so many of these issues, where even if you have a PMS, it may not be as severe. You may not end up having a PCOS issue, or if you do, it's not as bad, or you may not have a lot of symptoms that people are going through. So I like, it's more towards preventive healthcare is what I believe, that focus on prevention, because prevention is better than cure.
Correct. Yes.
So I work with that. I work with toddler health, working with toddlers on their building their immunity, helping moms find a way to help them eat better. So I work with, tips and tricks, recipes on, what you can do. So okay, tell me what your child likes. Okay, let's make something healthy around it. So something like that.
Okay.
Then obviously the regular issues that toddlers face, fever, cold, cough, dentition, stuff like that. And then I also work with fat loss, with athletes for sports nutrition, and I also work with cancer cases. So where we provide them temporary palliation, right diet, the right emotional guidance, because all of that is needed, because something like a cancer can really shake your world.
Yeah.
So with the right help, with the right attitude, you can take things on better.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, doctor, how does anybody approach you?
So for me, you can just follow, get in touch with me on Instagram, or go onto my website and send me an email. Or but for me, I think all this while people have just come to me through word of mouth. The
Okay.
one person gets better, tells the other person. That's how it's just been for me.
Okay. Okay. But the things have changed now, and we are in the times of pandemic. So how do you deal with such changing situations?
So for me, honestly, it wasn't much of a change, because from the first day of my practice, I've been working online. So
Okay.
consulting online wasn't new for me. And then obviously, when I had my first child, I couldn't go to the clinic that easily. So I used to work online. So for me, it was just what I've been doing.
Okay.
So honestly, this hasn't really been new to me.
Okay. Okay. So, you are also the founder of Meraki Luxury Hair Oils. Please tell us about that as well.
So like I said, I'm a trichologist.
Yes.
So what I've done is I've combined the knowledge of trichology and homeopathy. And I realized, again, this started in 2008, to be very honest. It didn't
Okay.
have a title again back then, but I used to consult people for hair issues, and obviously my own hair, and there are different oils in the market.
Yeah.
But like, see, if you have, you want something which will tackle dry hair, which will nourish your hair, which will, you've done a lot of treatments to your hair, so you want something, an oil for that. So you can't go buy different oils for different things. You want that one solution which is customized for you.
Okay.
So since then, I used to create hair oils, hair packs for my patients. So, and people would keep coming back for more. Then they tell somebody else, so then that person will come and consult me, hey, Khushbu, this is my hair problem, this is my hair. What do you recommend? What hair packs do you recommend? Can you make something for me? Till, so obviously people kept coming back, and this went on till
Okay.
actually last year, November, when somebody said, why don't you just take it online? Because we have to call you, we have to do this, just make it simple, Khushbu. And that's when I said, okay, that's a good idea. So I quickly made up a questionnaire, and people started filling it. And then I go through it. And then, if I have any questions, I come back, I do a consultation if I need to, and then create an oil. So that's how Meraki Luxury Hair Oil started. So now we have a set of oils which are ready, which can be for hair loss, dandruff, baby hair oils, uh, for male pattern thinning, for female pattern thinning, postpartum hair loss, and hair repair, which is something which is, people just love that oil, because today all of us put our hair through so much coloring, and heat applications, and different treatments that we do to our hair, that we need something which will repair the hair. So
Correct.
that hair repair oil has been doing very, very well. And over and above that, I'm still having the customized option where you can go online and fill up, say, what if you want a combination of dandruff and female pattern and hair repair? What do you do?
Okay.
So then,
Wow.
fill it up, and I'll make an oil for you which tries to, help you with everything.
Okay. This is actually the need of the hour.
Yes, because, and uh, so this is how it's through a lot of personal experience, where people tell you, Khushbu, but I need this also, this also, this also. And my hair is different. So some people have thin hair, some people have thick hair.
Yeah.
Your textures are different, your problems are different. How can one oil be the answer?
Okay. Correct. Yes. So, you sound like it is a very simple work, but I'm sure it is not. How do you manage it all? I mean, being a trichologist, looking into toddler health, then hormonal issues of women, how do you take care of everything?
So honestly, it's very compartmentalized. When I know, so when I'm working, I'm working. So
Yes.
obviously, there are days, there are a lot of cases. So I try to make a plan that this is what I need to do.
Okay.
So then it's very easy to just tick mark everything that you're doing.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's just who I've always been. I like making lists. This needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. So,
Okay.
and then, prioritize what's important. So then that happens. I
Okay.
guess the bigger problem is, managing work and children. Now, I think that's become a bigger challenge because, initially, even if I used to consult online, it used to be from my clinic.
Yeah.
So it used to be a little easier. And, the kids were smaller. Now they're growing up. And now with the lockdown, they don't go to school. So you have to still be there, homeschooling them for whatever that, it is.
Yes.
So now that guilt factor sets in, because so I'm still trying to learn that if I'm at work, I'm working. I'm
Yeah.
so no thinking about the kids, which I'm still thinking, oh, this needs to be done, that needs to be done for the children.
Yeah.
And when I'm with the children, no thinking about work. So
Okay.
that is where, because no matter what people say, there is no perfect work life balance.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Exactly.
is no perfect work life balance.
Yes, yes. So we all are living at work these days.
Yeah, in fact, people who are working from home, I realize, are working a lot more because everybody thinks you're working from home, so you have enough time.
Yeah,
In fact, at work, it was a lot more relaxed,
exactly. Yes,
which
I
is
agree to
not the case anymore. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There are businesses, which are into luxury hair oils or which are into well-being. So what differentiates your business against them?
So, in terms of luxury hair oils, the biggest differencing factor is I make my own oils by my hand. So
Okay.
after I get I receive that. So, and the other thing is it's customized for you.
Okay.
So after I receive, your feedback or I've taken your history, then I know what kind of issues you're facing. So these are made for you. So I will then, analyze what are the products that need to go in. So, if I need to put almonds, I'm going to take a half a kilo of almonds and then give it to my office boy and say, go get it cold pressed and come,
Okay.
instead of buying it over the counter. So then I actually get flowers, I dry them, I soak the oils in the flowers instead of using, the flower essences which are available. So it's a lot of work.
Okay.
And very often, see, what happens is I can't create a base oil and keep, because what if you don't need that combination?
Okay.
So it's very unique in terms of the oils, that I think this is, like I say, you it's not one size fits all. You
Yeah.
have to go, if you're buying clothes, you've got to go to a store, try what clothes. So some clothes look good on the rack, but they don't look good on you.
Good on you. Yeah. Exactly.
So is this oil good for your hair? It's got to be good for you. It's got to benefit you. You got to see it. And touch wood, I'm happy because I think 80-85% of people come back saying we're happy and they want more, and then they recommend to family and friends, and people say, Khushbu, my hair fall stopped or it's reduced. And so, you're doing
Yeah.
something right somewhere.
Yes. That is such a
And
wow
even with my
moment.
work, yes, it's just so good. And even with Meraki well-being, uh, so yes, now because I have kids, I've cut down work. I like, people initially could just walk into the clinic. Now that doesn't happen. You've got to come only if you have an appointment. And because see, when I'm giving you, and I'm working with you, I'm giving you my, like I said, 10,000%.
Yeah.
And I want that commitment from you as well. That when we work together, if I'm doing something, I'm planning, I'm doing this, but I need that commitment from you to change, to be with me on that path. Because when I make a diet plan, say for somebody, I'm not sitting and giving you a printout, this many grams of this and that many grams of that. No, I'm sitting with you. I'm understanding you, what you like, what you don't like, what's made at home. Whether you're at home at this time, are you traveling at this time? What can you eat? What's practical?
Okay.
Because at every meal that you eat, you should be like, wow, or you should be looking for the next meal. Oh, yum, next meal is this. Oh, yum, next meal is that.
Yes.
And I want you to know, to learn how to be your own health coach. So you don't keep jumping from one doctor to the other.
Okay.
You need to learn to take your health in your own hands. So whether you're in India or you're in Australia or you're in America, wherever you are, whatever your circumstances are, you know how to manage your health. So like I said, I always want to be the last doctor you go to, because after that you've learned that. And I'm always open to people coming back asking me doubts, but I don't like doing, that weight loss plan and the maintenance plan, because like I'm not here to like hold your hand and walk you throughout. I'm here to guide you. After that, it's your job to do it yourself.
Okay.
Please don't keep coming back to me. So I have a very strict policy that you see me once and you enroll in a program, say a long-term program, so 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. If you want, you can just do it again, like a second time. Third time, I refuse to see you. Like I am done.
Okay.
You cannot enroll with me a third time, because I want you to now do it yourself, because whatever I knew, I taught you.
Yeah.
If your body's taken X number of years to come to this situation, it's going to take some time to go back. It's not going to happen in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Don't expect magic.
Yes,
Just
exactly.
do what you're supposed to be doing, and your body will show you the results it's supposed to show.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So I think that's what makes me very different from others.
Yes, definitely. So, when you started up and till today, it has been a very long journey. So, what are the kind of challenges that you've gone throughout?
So it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
This April, it's going to be 13. So it's been, honestly, challenges per se. I really don't see any challenges as such, because I know if you work hard and you want to do something, you will do it.
Okay.
I think the only challenge I ever faced was sitting at home when I delivered my first child, because obviously, my baby needed me. So that was the first time I did not go to work, and and I didn't know at that time how I would balance my baby and the work. And those first 3 months were really challenging. But then you get a hang of it, and you find your time, and then you slowly start getting back into work. And then for me, I had my second baby very soon after I had my first one. So
Okay.
then how do I manage to? But then you learn, okay, you know what? You got to enlist help. You got to plan. You got to get help. And you got to do what you got to do. So obviously the number of hours go down,
Yeah.
because now they take priority.
Yes.
But work still goes on.
Okay. Okay. So you've already always chosen entrepreneurship as the way that you want to move forward. So along this path, what is, according to you, what does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Entrepreneurship, it just means, I think it's about when you know what you're doing is right, and you can make a difference and you can make it work, just do it.
Okay.
There will be doubts, there will be challenges. You've just got to see yourself through it, because you know that, it's like having a baby. This is also your baby, and you are going to have, teething issues and growing issues, but you just got to do what you got to do.
Great.
Raise it like your own.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what different qualities, according to you, an entrepreneur should have? Because I see you as a very strong woman who has, achieved everything on determination and through hard work.
So thank you for calling me strong. Some days I really doubt myself, and trust me, behind all of this, there's been a lot of laughter, but there's been a lot of tears, a lot of self-doubt, which still happens on days when I'm wondering, am I a good doctor? Am I a good mother? Am I a good wife? What if I'm doing something wrong? So I guess, like you said, what the quality that you need is to be resilient. You gotta bounce back. So like I said, like if you take this, that this is my child, I have to own up no matter whatever my child is. So this is what it is. I have to embrace, and I have to make sure this is successful. I don't have an option.
Yeah.
So you got to reinvent, rebuild, do what you got to do, but you got to make this work, because this is what you have.
Yes. This is your dream.
So I think resilience, yeah, this is you got to be resilient,
Yes.
that this is what I want and this is what I want to achieve. Yes, I may change the weight, I may change the path, but my goal remains the same.
Yeah. Exactly. You have been an entrepreneur all this while. You are a mother as well. So, we come across, vague statements saying that, women can't have it all. What is your take on it?
Uh, okay. Okay, I'm going to talk both ways.
Sure.
Yes, you can have it all,
Yeah.
but you may not be able to have it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So, so I know I want to be there for my children 1,000% or 10,000%. I want to be at my work at 10,000%. I want to be a great wife at 10,000%. I want to cook in the kitchen also at 10,000%. So then I know some part of my life is going to get sacrificed. So I know I want to work out also. So then, sleep is something that somewhere I compromise. So you've got to realize and prioritize what you want. Because, you've got to be realistic about what you want, and then you can have it all.
Yeah.
But you cannot have unrealistic, expectations and then want to have it all, then you are in for trouble.
Yeah.
So, you have to accept that, that like with kids, it's going to be messy. With work, there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be days I'm going to be able to work out better. Some days I'm not going to be able to work out better. There are days I'm not going to get sleep, but I still have to get up the next day because I have to work.
Yes.
So you have to make peace with a lot of things in life. And like I say, you need to get help. You need to get help so you can do the other things that you can do. So enlist support. It's very, very important.
Uh, do you ever go through the mom's guilt ever?
Oh, every single damn day. Every single day. I'm right now here talking to you, and my head is somewhere. My daughter's woken up just 5 minutes before I spoke to you. So, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Is she okay? What am I going to do? And what will I do next with her? And I'm here. Will she be missing me? What if she gets hurt? Has she had her milk? What if she doesn't want milk? So, such weird things go through our minds. So
Exactly.
mom's guilt is just going to be there. But I think what makes a difference is the reason that, see, when I'm working, I know I'm making a difference in somebody else's life. And I
Yeah.
want my family to know that also.
Yeah.
And that makes the guilt a little lesser,
Yeah.
that I
Exactly.
am doing something which makes a difference.
Okay.
And when she realizes, when she sees that, my mom is putting in time for me and she's putting in time for work. So I want her to understand the importance of working, the also importance of being independent, of following your dreams, and also understand the importance of family bonding, of being interdependent on each other, which
Correct.
I think can happen only with, you know, living that. You cannot just tell her,
Yeah.
because they are going to see you and they're going to follow you.
Correct.
So I guess it's very, very important. So I tell myself, somebody is watching you. There are, these four little eyes that are watching you. Because, mama works also, mama does this also, mama does that also. I've had, for me, I mean, growing up, I've had my grandmother who was running the house, doing everything, and running a successful business. And
Okay.
my mom was working with her. So there was an entrepreneur, both my mom and my grandmom. Then my mom decided to, go ahead further, and she started her own business in diamonds. She was working with her very close friend. So again, an entrepreneur. My aunt, my paternal aunt, she is an occupational therapist, got married, has babies, and she's been working, with children, and doing her work. So when you have so many
Yeah.
role models who are doing it all, being it all, how can you not follow their footsteps?
Exactly.
It's like the
Exactly.
but natural thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. The very essence of starting Her Club True Stories has been that, be a community of women entrepreneurs who inspire and each other every single day. And on the day when you feel let down or demotivated, as you say, you hear somebody or you have heard somebody speaking about their struggles or their challenges, and then how they pick them up themselves through the situations and are wading through. So, yeah, you echoed the same today.
Yeah, because when there were times when I tell my dadi, Dadi, I'm tired. She's like, what is tired?
Yeah,
How can you say you're tired? Like, what do you mean by that? Just get up and do next.
exactly.
You need to nap, close your eyes, nap 15 minutes, get up and do what you have to do. There is no tired, you're very young.
Okay, okay. And Dr. Kushbu, the last thing I would want to know from you is, any tips for mompreneurs or women entrepreneurs who want to take this journey, or who are in this journey altogether, but are very unsure or of starting up, maybe.
So one, follow your gut, follow your heart. It will never lead you, the wrong path. Just follow your heart. And for mompreneurs, I will say, stop listening to people outside of you. If you know inside what you're doing is right, if you are a happy mom, that's more than enough. Your child does not care whether you cooked a 7-course meal for them, or you made a simple khichdi for them. What a child wants is a smiling mom, a happy mom, not
Yeah.
a cribby mom or an angry mom or a dissatisfied mom. So if you're not following your dream, somewhere you are low. But that happened with me, when I wasn't working and I was low, I was just unhappy. And my husband told me that, what are you doing? Just go work. Work for an hour if you have to, but that'll make you happy. So, he pushed me, and after my 3rd month of my having my daughter, he said, just work for 1 hour, nothing will happen.
Okay.
Nothing's going to happen to her. She's going to be perfectly safe. She's all right. If she cries, you can always take a break and look after her. But do this. And I realized that, that's right. We expect so much out of us and we think people will say this, people will say that. Don't give a damn. Just follow your heart.
Exactly.
To silence the critics inside and outside of you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kushbu, for talking to us today and taking our time to inspiring each one of us that are hearing out today. And Dr. Kushbu has an Instagram page.
So my Instagram page is @Meraki Wellbeing, MERAKIWELLBEING. You can definitely follow me there. And if you would love to have a word with me, I would love to talk to you. Do write to me.
Thank you, Dr. Kushbu.
Thank you. Thank you again. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.